So we'll just move to the schedule that we have made. So we have completed arrays in TypeScript, and today we'll see what is string, what are different ways in which we can declare string, and different types of methods that are available for some kind of manipulation for the strings. We have already gone through in our data type sessions that what is string, how do we declare string, and so on. But let's go through in detail along with few of the um, few of the methods that we'll be using for string data type. Okay, so I'll create a new file over here, which I'll name it as strings.ps. Okay, so let's discuss about strings in TypeScript. What is strings? From the previous sessions regarding type data types of TypeScript, we discussed like string is one of a basic data type that used to represent textual data. That means it is basically a text value, whatever we write in terms of textual data, or we can also say it as it is a combination of characters. It can consist of any number of characters, can have any character, alphanumeric values, special character, and so on. But whenever we declare any value inside single quote or double quote, that means either inside a single quote, which is this symbol, or inside a double quote, which is this symbol, is known as string. We have also seen that there are other ways in which we can declare a string by using a backtick symbol. Backtick symbol is also one of a symbol that basically used to represent a string, and we mainly use this whenever we have to use a variable inside another variable. That means whenever this is also known as a string template. That means template literal in terms of string, which is basically allowing us to use variables and expressions inside a string. That means whenever we try to use a string variable inside another string variable, not only string variable, you can use any kind of other variables as well. Whenever we try to use a variable which we are trying to declare inside another variable, at that point of time, we can take the help of backtick symbol. And how do we declare the variables or expression? By using dollar and curly braces. And inside the curly braces, we'll be writing the whatever we are trying to call. Okay. So there are two ways in which we can declare a string in TypeScript. One is either single quote or double quote. Both are similar. So single quote is represents this thing, this symbol. We can write something inside this, or let's say I'll just say it as single quote over here. This symbol is a double quote where we have a two exclamation mark over sorry like it represents a two single quote kind of things, where it is a double quote that we can use to declare a variable, declare a string, um, let's say double quote string. In this way also, we'll be able to declare the string. And third way we have seen is by using a backtick. So inside the backtick symbol, we can also write a variable, which is like, we can also declare a variable, which is a type of string. And string is also a basic data type that we have available in terms of TypeScript. Okay. So as we have seen in terms of how do we declare the variable over here, or how do we declare the string variable or data type in TypeScript is. So first, let's try to see like how do we declare a string in TypeScript. First, I'll say it as, let's say, a single quote where we can represent a value inside the single quote, and say it as this is a single quote string. Okay. Now, if you see over here, I believe like we have already declared a single quote, but I'll change the name over here. So now if you see it is the error haven't got, but earlier it was providing us an error. It's just because it says that we have already declared it somewhere else. So this is the value that we see inside a single quote is known as a single quote. It is also known as a string in TypeScript, but it is available inside a single quote. Okay. So if you see over here, what is here the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? The way that we have written over here is exactly similar in terms of JavaScript as well. If you hover over on this, it says that it is having a data type as string, whatever the variable, whatever the values that we have declared for a variable single quote. Okay. We know that in terms of TypeScript, it is a type safe. So we have to declare a data type over here to make it uh, to more readable in form of whatever the variable that we have declared over here. So anyone by reading itself they can say that it is a type of string variable that we have declared over here. Okay, so in TypeScript we also provide the data type that we have discussed earlier. Now we can also declare string using double quote. So I'll just say it as, let's say, double quote one. I can make it as, and then what is the data type that we are trying to use is a string. So we can say it as this is um I'm randomly declaring some string over here. Okay, so we can also declare in this way. This we have also seen earlier. And the third way is by using a backtick. So you can say that, let's say, a backtick string, and here we'll be using a backtick. We can simply write it as this is a backtick string. Okay. We can also declare in this way, but this is, as we know that this is known as a template literal. So most of the time we'll be using whenever we have to parameterize something, let's say in terms of test case, whenever we want to parameterize the test case or test title, we can use this particular symbol to represent the string. Or if you want to use some other variable or expression inside this particular string, at that point of time, we can take the help of dollar and curly braces to represent that, as we had seen at the time of data types, that there used to be some kind of issues whenever we use double quote or single quote to call the other variable inside the string. So at that point of time, it is very helpful for us in terms of using the backtick symbol to declare the string in TypeScript. Okay, so these are different ways in which we declare string in TypeScript. Any question over here?
No.
Okay. Now we'll see different types of methods that we have in terms of TypeScript for string manipulation and doing some kind of query from the string. Why do we use string? It is a basic data type in TypeScript, and most of the time we'll be using string to do some kind of manipulation, some kind of storing the values, some kind of comparison, and so on. So we'll see like how can we do different different validations or manipulations inside the string by using the predefined methods that we have for string. So there are n number of methods available again, as we have seen for the arrays. Few of them are similar that we have discussed in arrays in string as well, but few of them are entirely different that we'll be seeing over here in string. So I'll just mention it as methods of string. Okay. So first thing that we have as a part of string is a property that we have to get. So one thing every time we have to understand that string is also something where we can iterate through the values of string. That means as we know that string is a combination of character. So whenever we have to get single character at a time, we have to use a for loop, because we know that there are a lot of characters available inside this string. There are a lot of characters available inside this string, and so on. So whenever we have to do some kind of operation or do some kind of manipulation to a string, we can also take the help of for loop to uh, execute the action on the strings, whatever we are trying to do. So for that, it has given lots of methods. Most popular one we'll be discussing in our session. And apart from that, whatever is non-usable or not much helpful in terms of test automation, I've already included in the document, which you can go through with from the drive as well. Okay. So first one that it is having is a property. It is not a method. It is just a property known as length that we have seen at the time of arrays as well. So what is the use of length over here is length is a property which calculates the number of characters available inside a string. So it returns us the number of characters, returns number of characters, ca characters available in string. It is similar to that we have seen at the time of discussing the arrays when we had used a length property to find out how many elements are available inside a string. So we had also used a length property over here, property of an array, which is a length. It calculates the number of elements available inside a string. In the same way, for the string, it calculates number of characters available in string. Okay, because string is a combination of character, array is a combination of elements. Okay. Now, what is the syntax? A basic syntax for this is a very simple, which is just say it as the string name and dot length. So whatever we have declared over here, we are trying to do some kind of operation on the string that we have declared. Just mark it as string name and dot length. As it is a property, so we do not have to provide a parenthesis symbol. That means a method symbol over here. Okay. Now let's see how do we find it out how the length is helpful in terms of finding the number of characters it is having. Now, one thing we have to understand that this is one of a string. This consists of a blank space as well, right? We see that every words have been separated by a blank space over here inside this particular string, inside this one, and inside this one as well. So every space will also be counted as one particular character. Okay, so space inside the single quote, not after the single quote or double quote, but inside the single quote or double quote or backtick will be considered as one character in string. Okay, so let's see an example where we'll declare a variable which I'll declare as a string. We know that why do we use a colon and string over here to represent that this is the variable that we are trying to declare is a string variable. And now we'll say it as, let's say, hello, comma, TypeScript. Okay. Also, index in string is similar to that we have in arrays. That means index in string starts with 0 itself. So index in string starts with 0. Okay, it is similar to that we have in array. Okay, so this is a string that we have declared. Now we have to find out what is the length of this particular string. So whenever someone asks us to calculate the number of characters or calculate the length of a string, we can use directly a property that we have over here for length. Okay, so whatever the string name that we have declared over here, which is, let's say, str1, and if you have to print the total length of the string, we can directly use it out, which is str.length. Okay, we do not have to provide a method symbol over here because it is just a property available inside a string. So property says that it is a property. Okay, this expression is not callable. That means this is not a method. It returns the length of a string object. Okay. So it just returns the length. That means how many characters are available inside the string. So if we count over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma is also a character. So 6, space is also 1, 7, and then we have 4 and 6, 10, which is 17. So output should have to be 17 characters that are available inside this particular string. Okay, so let's see how much it is trying to print over here. So how do we run the test case over here? By using tsx and then provide the file name, right? Strings dot ts. If you want to, so we can see that it is having a 17 character over here. Okay. If you want to compile this file in terms of JavaScript, then you can also compile it as tsc and then use strings dot ts. Okay, if you want to convert this file into JavaScript and then you want to run, then you can compile it in terms of JavaScript. So if you see over here, it has whatever we have written inside the TypeScript file, it has converted into a JavaScript. Okay, so we can see like it has whatever the data type that we had given, it removed from here automatically because we do not have to explicitly mention that what kind of data type that we are trying to use. But apart from that, everything is same. You might be wondering that, okay, the keyword have been changed from let to where. Okay, there is explanation as well for this. I'll try to explain some other time, but TypeScript uses ES5 engine by default. So TypeScript uses ES5 engine. Till ES5 engine, JavaScript was using a var keyword itself. From the ES6 engine onwards, which has been introduced in 2015, from there on, they started using let and const as well. But earlier there were only one keyword available was var keyword. And TypeScript uses a ES6 engine itself. So that is why it is whenever we use a let or const, it converts that into a var in JavaScript. Okay, so we have seen one thing over here. Let me delete it out from here, else it will give us problem every time for TypeScript. But if you want to convert and check how it is working, you can convert that as well. So this was a first thing that we have declared is a property available inside a string known as length. Most of the common method that we use inside the string, out of that, the first one is caret. Caret takes a string as well. What is caret? It returns the character. It generally returns the character at the specified index in a string. Okay, at the specified index in a string. What is under that? So this is caret is a method which takes a parameter as index. Okay. Caret is a method which takes a parameter as index. How do we write the syntax? By using simply a string name dot caret of I. Sometimes what will happen is to work with the string, sometimes to write the string, write the program, or sometimes to do the manipulation inside the string, we will be using a caret to get the single character at a time. Example, let's say if you are trying to do a program, or if you're trying to write a program which asks you to find out the duplicate character available inside a string. Duplicate character available inside string. Okay, so how do we do that at that point of time is we'll take the help of caret. Caret will get each and every character at every time. Like whenever we try to use a loop concept, right? Looping over here, we have to get each and every character from the string. So to get the each and every character from a string, we'll be using a looping concept. Then only we'll be able to iterate through all the characters of the string and get the character one by one and check if the character is already available inside a string. If it is available, then increase the number so that it will say that there are n number of elements available. There are n number of characters available inside this string. For H, example, for L, we have 2 characters over here. For E, we have again 2 characters and so on, right? So whenever you try to find out these kind of values, or whenever someone asks you to write a code to find out the duplicate characters available or the number of characters available for a particular character inside a string, at that point of time, we can use or take the help of char at. Also, the index that we declare over here, index is a 0 based index in string, which is similar to array that we have seen. That means index starts from 0. So whenever if you see over here, which is H represents at 0th index. Okay, that means H is available at 0th index. E is available at first index and so on. Okay, that is what mean by 0-based index. Now, how do we use, let's see the example over here as well. So let's say if I have to get the character available at 5th index, how do we get that? So we can directly say it as CLG, which is console log, and then the string that we have declared. And for that, we are trying to use char at. So we can use a char at over here, char at method over here, and place something like, let's say, if we want to get the 5th characters. So it says that the 0-based index of the desired character returns the character at the specified index. That means whatever the index that we provide over here, whatever the value is appearing at 5th index, it will return us that particular character available inside a string. So if you see over here, it will return basically a comma, which is available at 5th index over here. Now, if you pass it out like, let's say, 6th index, now if you just pass the index, which is 6-1, you'll see that it will just return a space character. So we have to make it at 6. So if you see over here, it will just return a space character over here. So this is the space that it has declared over here. Okay. So that means space also represents one single character inside a string. Space in the sense a blank space. Okay. So char at is used to iterate through each and every characters of one string. Whenever we have to get any character, we can use a char at over here. If you want to get all the characters available inside this particular string, we can take the help of for loop. So how do we use a for loop? You can also use a traditional for loop, which you can say it as, let's say, let I equals to 0, I is less than str dot length that we have declared. That means total number of characters available inside the string, and then iterate through each and every character of the string by using str dot char of I. I represents an index. First time it will be a 0 index, second time first index, third time second index, and so on. So if you see over here now, it will provide us the result for all this available character that is available inside a string that we have declared over here. So you can see this is also a space we have available inside a string over here. Okay, so that's the use of char at method. Now we have another method which is known as concat. Concat also accept couple of parameters, like parameters will be a parameter where it will take a string as a parameter. The number of string you can provide, whatever the number of string that you want to concat. What is the use of concat? It basically joins 2 or more string. 2 or more string and return a new string. Okay, what is under that? What is under that? So if you want to concatenate 2 string, let's say we have let's see the syntax. Syntax that we have is string name dot concat string 1, string 2, and so on, that we can declare over here. let's say an example. So I'll just say it as, let's say str1 equals to hello, and then str2 equals to something, let's say TypeScript. Okay. And if we want to combine both of them, how can we combine? We know that plus is one of a plus operator that we have gone through at the time of going through with addition, like arithmetic operator. At that point of time, we have also seen that plus, whenever it is having a number, it will add the value. Whenever it is having a character, it will just concatenate the value. So if you want to add these two values, we can also use a plus operator over here. What is meant by plus operator is, you can just say it as str1 plus str2. What it will do is, this will merge these two strings and return a new string. If you see over here, it just prints us hello TypeScript without having any space. Let's provide a space over here as well, so that it will look better. Now, if you try to run this, you'll see that it will just combine the two value, which is hello TypeScript. So this is an operator that we have used over here, which is plus. But if you want to combine two or more string by using a method that string has given, at that point of time, you can use str1 dot concat is a method, string name dot concat is a method, and whatever the number of string that you want to basically combine. So let's say I'll also declare one string known as str3, and we'll say it as JavaScript. I'll just say it as JavaScript. Okay. So first thing, as it says that one or joins two or more strings. So let's see um, with a single string that we are trying to combine over here. So str1 dot concat, and whatever the string that you want to add or merge. So here we'll see that it will display a similar to like this, which is hello TypeScript. Okay. So if you see now, the answer will be again similar to what it has given us in terms of by using a plus operator. And if you want to also merge like more than two strings, at that point of time, we can directly use three. As we can see, the syntax for concat method is, we can use a number of string by comma separated value. So if you want to merge two or more string, we can write all the strings that we want to merge to this particular string and return a new string by comma separated value over here. Okay. So I've just set it as like str1 dot concat str2 comma str3. And now if you try to execute the code, you will see like everything have been merged and returned a new string over here. But this str1 that you are seeing over here, like, you might be wondering that, okay, I'm trying to use str.concat. That means str1 will get changed. No. As per the definition, it says that it joins two or more string and return a new string. So it will never change any of the string that we are trying to use. That means we are trying to use str1.concat. But if you try to print the str, which is str1, which is our original array, original string, we'll still see that this will print us a hello itself. It will not never change the string value that we have declared, but it will alter and return a new string. That means whatever the number of string that you want to store, it will just return the value. So if you see the original value that we are having, or that we have declared as str1, it's still same as hello itself. Okay. So concat method will not change the original string, but it will return a new string by combining two or more string. Okay. Now we have another one. You people can, stop me at any point of time whenever you think that you need some kind of explanation. Okay. So includes is a method which takes a couple of parameters. One is includes means we are trying to search that one string included in the other string or not. It is similar to that we have a method available in Java is known as um, okay, so in Java, we have something known as contains, right? So in Java, we have a contains method which checks whether a string that we are trying to search contains inside another string or not, right? We have similar thing. Similarly, we have includes in TypeScript, which used to which accept a couple of parameter, which is first as a search string and second optional, which is a position from where it starts searching on. So include says that it generally try to search like search string that we provided over here inside another string to check whether this string is available inside another string or not. So let's see the syntax and then we'll see over here how it is working. So syntax, if you see for this one, it is string name dot includes, and it takes a parameters which is search string, and position is an again optional parameter over here. Okay, so position is an optional. What is position? It will just take the index where it start searching the search string value. Let's say an example over here, we'll declare a string and we'll say it as, let's say, let str code equals to, this is a string in TypeScript, and just declare a string as known as this is a string in TypeScript. Okay. So let's say if this includes method will mostly be using in most of the time will be using in test automation. Okay, so what will happen is, like, let's say if we have to do some kind of assertion that after logging into the application, whether the username is displaying or not. Okay, so let's say this is a username that it is displaying, which is saying as this is a string in TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript is a username. Let's say an example, TypeScript is a username, and we are trying to search whether the value available on the dashboard is available as a TypeScript or not. Okay, so what we can do is we can get the text of the value, get the text of an element and store it inside a variable. So let's say we have received a text which is this one, and we have stored inside a variable which is str4, and we have to check whether this included the value which is a TypeScript or not. So how can we do that? By just following the syntax over here, which is string name. So what is the string name that we have, which is string4, and then we can use a method known as includes and search for TypeScript, whether we have a TypeScript available inside this string, which is includes or not. We have to print it out, so we can use console log over here. Okay, so what did we do? We are trying to search a string available inside the complete string or not. Or it is also known as a substring, kind of, to get the substring from the complete string. But substring returns a string value, and this includes returns either true or false. If it is available inside a string, then it will return true. If it is not available inside the string, then it will return as a false. So we can use an includes method to check if it is available, if the username is available, if the TypeScript is available inside the string or not. If it is available, then that means we have successfully logged in into the application. If it is not available, that means there is some issues that we have to check whether the message is displaying wrongly or username is displaying wrongly, or that means incorrect or not. Okay, so includes method mostly be using at for the validations that we are trying to check whether whether some part of value is available inside a complete string or not. Okay, now it also says that a position. So if you see over here, we can say it as, let's say, CLG, which is console log, and then str4 dot includes. We can also say not only the complete word, we can also search for um, a particular string as well over here. So let's say I'm trying to search I after let's say 10th index. Okay, so I'm trying to search I, which is available after 10th index. That means a position after 10th position. We know that the index starts with 0. So after 10th position, we are trying to search whether I is available or not. If it is available, then again it will throw us a true. If it is not available, then it will throw us a false value. So let's say if we are saying that after 10th index, so what it will do is it will start searching after 10th index inside the string. Let's say I'll just say it as some value which is not available after 10th index. So I'll just say it as, let's say, um, u as a as a value which is not available inside this. So at this point of time, you'll see that it will return as a false because it is not able to find out the U character inside a string. Okay, or this is we know that this is a single character, so we name it as a character, but in general in TypeScript it is considered as a string itself. Okay, so this is what the help of what the use of includes method will mostly be using in terms of test automation or test automation as well. Now the fifth one is known as starts with. Starts with is also a method which is available inside a string, and it accepts a parameter known as search index. Okay, so let's see the syntax. What is the use of starts with? It will try to check whether a string is starting with the search element that we are trying to provide as a parameter. So what it will do is check if a string starts with the specified character or word. Okay, so it will just check whether a string is starting with a character or word or not. So how do we check that? It will also return what it will return is it returns either true or false. Returns true or false. In terms of includes as well, it returns true or false. Okay. So what is the string name, or how do we take the help of starts with? Mostly might not be usable or might not be helpful in terms of a test automation. But if we have to check like whether the string is starting with some value or not, at that point of time, we can use this method which says that string name is str4 dot starts with. Start with. You can also mention some character, let's say a T, which is a single, which is also known as a string in TypeScript. So if you just say it as starts with T, we know that this string is starting with T. So this will return us a true value. And if you say it as something, let's say start with a small letter T, at that point of time, it will say it as false because it is not starting with small letter T. This methods that we see over here is a case sensitive method. That means it will try to check whether the case are matching or not. Case in the sense either it is lowercase or uppercase. So if you see over here, it is saying a true value for this T. And if you see over here, it is saying a false. You can also mention as a string as well. So if you see over here, we have just said it that it is starting with a word this or no. At this point of time also it is throwing us a true value. So starts with used to check whether a string is starting with some character or some word or not. Okay. You might have guessed the next method, which is known as ends with. It is similar. It will also take a parameter, but what it will do is it will just check. It is like opposite to the start with. It checks if a string ends with the specified character or not. Okay, ends with the specified character or word. The syntax is again same. It just use a string name dot ends with and the parameter. It also returns true or false itself. So whenever you want to check whether this particular string is ending with a TypeScript or not, we can take the help of ends with and then TypeScript over here. Or if you want to also validate whether that is ending with some character or not, we can also take the help of a character over here as well. So in both of the situation, we'll see that this will return as a true. It's just because it is starting with a character which is ending with T over here and ending with a word TypeScript. If you mention it over here, let's say a P, or inside the word itself, if you flip a single character, you will see that this will return as a false. Earlier, it was returning as a true value, which we can see it over here. Both of them were true, but now in the latest it is showing as a false because it checks that the value is not similar whatever we have in terms of str. Okay, so that's the use of ends with method that we have. Now there are another one which is known as index of. Index of will basically also takes a parameter which will be a string or character. Okay, and what it will return? It will return the position of the. It basically returns the index of the first occurrence of the specified value in string. Specified value in string. What is meant by that? So it accept a character or a string, and then it will check whether the string or character available inside the string or not. If it is available, then it will just return us the first occurrences of the specified index that we have seen at the time of array as well, where um, we had index of we have discussed over here. So exactly it is similar over here as well in string. There is no difference at all. So we can use the similar one. You can go for the explanation. Like you can just watch that particular explanation itself for index of. It is exactly similar that we have in terms of array as well. And if it is not able to find out any value, then it will return us a -1, which is similar in terms of arrays as well. If you see over here as an example, it basically returns the index of the first occurrence of the specified value. So example, if you see over here, we are trying to say it as, let's say, str4 dot index of. So what is str4? Str4 is a we have said it as something this is a string. So we are saying that find out try to find out like what is the index of I as a word over here, right? IS. So it will start searching from the initial string, like the first character. So it will go like it is 0, 1, and it will check that is available at second index, right? It starts from the second index. So if you provide a word and wherever it is starting, that index it will provide. So in this case, we have provided a word which is IS over here. Right? We have given a word which is IS. This IS starts at second index. So it will just return a index which is starting over here in terms of string. So if we try to execute the code, we'll see that it just start a 2 as a index over here, because I is starting from uh, like second index inside the string. Now, if you want to also provide, so this index of also takes a optional parameter, which is index. So you can just make it as a third one. So you are saying that the index at which to begin searching to string function. Okay. If you have given an index, then it will start searching from the third index onwards. And third, if it starts searching from here, after that, whatever the index it is appearing for IS, it will return that particular value. See over here, earlier it was displaying us 2, but now it will display us a 5 because the next IS or is available at fifth index. Okay, so index of will in general return us a index at which the string is appearing or string is starting. Now we have another one which is known as last index of. We also have a last index of. It will also take a parameter which is string or character. Okay, and what is the definition of this? It is opposite to the index of that we have seen. In index of, it says that index of the first occurrence of the value. It returns the position of the last occurrences of value in terms of last index of. So last occurrences of the specified value in string. The syntax is entirely same. There is no difference at all in terms of syntax. So if you see over here, we are trying to use str dot last index of. So the syntax is a string name dot last index of string or character, right? So last index of, we are saying is. We know that is available at last index, which is this one itself. There are no other is available inside this particular string. So if you see it over here, will return us an index which is a 5, similar to our one.
Done more than. No? Yeah.
Okay. So this is something which is trying to print us the last index of wherever the last value of this is appearing inside the string. Okay, so this is a last index of string over here. We have a couple of more methods available inside the string, which is like very simple, which is slice. We have seen inside the array, like slice methods over here, which takes up starting index and ending index and it will return as a substring. We have substring available inside the string. We have split method. We have two lowercase, two uppercase, and so on. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll stop our session over here for today.